All right, let's see. It looks like we are live. So welcome. I am Barbara Carr with Fuse Empire, and this is the Barbara Talks Business podcast. We're here every Tuesday at 2, and I have a very exciting guest with me today that I can't wait to introduce you to. But before we jump into that, let me just remind all of the viewers that we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you have comments or questions, feel free to post those in the chat area because I will be watching that. And you can ask questions to Brad if you've seen any of his product as we start going through it, or if you're one of his clients, feel free to tell us how awesome he is, or the products that you've used, or if you're one of the advertisers and you're watching this. And if you want more info, feel free to ask, but we will also give you Brad's contact information at the end of the show as well. So with that said, let me tell you a little bit about Brad and his company. So the name of the company that Brad represents is called Social Indoor, and they bring customers an ultimate captive audience with consumers who cannot flip the page, they can't drive by without looking at these ads, they can't click away, they can't, because these are digital monitors that are located in vanity and urinal areas and other high traffic spots that are captivating because they can't be avoided. They're right there where you are, right when you're there. And your continuous ad will loop about 540 times per day per monitor. And these monitors, because they're digital, they allow for quick pivots with multiple creative changes on the fly. So you can have different ads as you go. And they're very nice quality. Later on in the call, we'll actually have Ray on, and Ray will be able to show us what these screens look like so that you could really see them in action. But you guys, this is digital and print indoor advertising in high traffic venues that cannot be avoided. So if you are a business owner who wants your name to get some exposure, this is the podcast you want to be listening to, because we're going to teach you a way that is very affordable and high exposure. Okay, great stuff here. So with that said, let me tell you, let me introduce Brad, who Brad and I originally met a while back, and we met at an investing event, actually a real estate investing event, but then we realized that we had other things in common and other ways we could collaborate and help each other, and we hold a lot of the same values, and so we stayed connected. We've been really connected over the past couple of months. And when I finally saw these screens in action, that's when I was like, Brad, I have to have you on my podcast. This is such a great opportunity for the people who watch my show. I need them to know about it. So with that said, I want to first, Brad, I gave a little introduction about you, but why don't you tell us who you are as a person? Before business, who are you as a person?
So basically, I started my first business when I was 18 years of age, and I've owned 12 businesses or companies. I was a chief operating officer of a publicly traded company that I ran for a couple of years. And so I'm kind of, I would say, people have described me as a serial entrepreneur. So just so you know, right now, I've got a house flipping business, and I own a commercial and residential remodeling and development company, and an online training company that's basically, it's global, but our focus is Asia, and so there's corporate training classes there, and then I also I have of course NWI Social Indoor. Our website is nwisocialindoor.com, and so it's a franchise that I bought right before the COVID happened, and so. Speaking of that, so here we've had some illnesses with some of our staff and just different obstacles going on with the current environment. So normally I'm in the office and I do a lot of directing things with all my employees and staff globally and locally. And so at this point, I got called out to take care of some stuff. So I'm doing this podcast remote. I put a pretty background up behind me, but it's not that pretty if you actually saw the real thing. I'm at a lumber yard right now. So things happen like that, and we just roll with it. So anyhow, about 3 days 4 days before the shutdown, social indoor, the corporate cashed my franchise check, and then I was here thinking it might be a bad thing to have the COVID going on. So I can go into that a little bit more, but go ahead, Barbara, if you have anything. Any questions?
I think that was great. And then you also tell us about your wife and your son.
So I have a 3-year-old, Aiden, and my wife, Panawit. And so my connection to the market in Asia is I lived in Asia for almost about 10 years. So my wife is from Thailand, and she is the CEO of the company in Thailand, which does the corporate training, and the main focus though is business English and other English training that's live. So we have live American teachers that are having these classes with really anyone. It could be young learners all the way to adults and business people. So it's kind of tailored for their needs. So
nice. And your son, your wife does something fun with your son on her Instagram. Also, tell us about that.
So Aiden, around 2 years of age, he ended up where he likes to help mom cook, and he's bilingual. He's learning the 2 languages, and he's 3 now. But he started wanting to do more cooking, and so she launched a YouTube channel and a page for him. So he's on there doing just cooking Thai food and American food and a few other things like that. That's his focus. So he really loves doing it. He wakes up all the time, and I want to do another video. We just don't have time to do a video every day. So it's just a couple a week. And he really loves it. So you can check him out if you wanted to see him at Aiden's Zone, and that's YouTube. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes, exactly. So I will find the link to their YouTube and post it in the comments when the video is done, because, oh, you guys, his little boy is the cutest, and the way his wife edits the videos, it's just unbelievable. You guys have to see this. And I've posted some of his son's videos on Facebook in the past, but you have to check out the videos. They're super cute. Okay, so that's who you are as a person. And Brad, most of my are faith-based, and so that's one of the things I love about you as well. When you and I first met, we openly spoke about God, and it was really invigorating. I remember leaving thinking, oh, now I know why God put this man in my life. I saw a lot of potential in our relationship, ways that we could help one another, and it was just really nice for me. So I just wanted to open that up for you, to let you know that it's okay to talk about God on this show, because that's who my followers are. All right, so
awesome.
Let's move on to the company now. So Social Indoor, tell us what that is and how I know you said you got started before COVID, but how did it fall into your lap? Where did you hear about it? How'd you get started?
So I have a business partner in Austin, Texas, and he is a bivocational pastor, and he owns a global company, I think with 500 plus employees, and he owns, I think as the count is today, about 72 other companies or businesses, ranging from car dealerships to chiropractic offices, insurance companies, all sorts of different businesses. Even one is a parachute for drones business, which is going to be it's going to be required by law that all drones have parachutes. So one of his principles of the school, he started about 7 Christian schools, pay what you can, and none of the teachers or the staff they don't take a salary, because they're all business people. And so he jumped into that drone parachute business, which is really unique. But his global company is screens on the backs of airplane seats. So if you get on a plane, 80% worldwide of airlines are his market. He also does work for all the branches of military, Department of Defense, and tons of other clients and customers worldwide. So it's kind of a unique business. And so one day we had lunch, and he was getting ready to leave in his vehicle. I dropped him off. He was going to drive up to O'Hare, and he said to me, he says, "What do you think about urinals and toilets and bathroom vanities and in restaurants and bars and gyms?" And so what it is, he asked me that. I thought, "Why are you asking me that?" Because I just don't. It's a weird question. And then he explained it. He was building screens for corporate social indoor, and he says, "I really believe in this franchise. You should look at getting a franchise." And so I looked into it, and then I ended up getting another couple of meetings with corporate, and I bought a franchise, and then COVID happened.
So I see that Ray is there with the screen now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a gallery view so the audience can see all three of us at the same time. Excuse me. And then I'm going to go ahead and ask Ray to unmute himself. And Ray, why don't you go ahead and introduce who you are and what you do with the company, and then show us that screen, because then I'm going to ask for you guys to explain more about the screen.
Okay, well, thank you. My name is Ray Joslyn, and I'm a partner with Brad Shrader in Social Indoor from Northwest Indiana. And so my job is consists of not only doing looking for other advertising clients and just taking care of some of the administration part of the company, but also I do a lot of the ad creation. I manage the uploading and making sure the ads are changed when they're supposed to change, and stuff like that.
Great. And I'm really impressed with these screens and with the work that you all do with the screens. And it's nice to, Ray, this is our first time meeting, and I didn't know you were one of the people who did the design and stuff. And now that I get to meet you, great job. I love what you've been doing. So show us the screen that you have there and tell us a little bit about it.
So it's a 22-inch screen, fully digital. Usually we mount these above the urinals or above the vanities in bathrooms and high traffic areas. We'll also put these into common areas, maybe by a takeout counter. We put them in laundry facilities that are open 24 hours. The ad can be a full digital ad, full video ad, or it can be a static ad, or it can be a combination of both. And so, as I hope that you can see this pretty well, this is the one that's playing right now is a full video ad with some words on top of it. But you'll also see this is a static ad that's playing right now. So we have all sorts of different ways to do things. We can use the artwork that that a company already has in place from their marketing agency, or we can work with them to create something that makes sense for them while trying to convey whatever information they're trying to convey to their customers or potential customers.
Perfect. And so businesses have the opportunity to do a couple of different things with this, right? Like I know you guys have the option that businesses can have this in their facility and businesses can advertise on it. So why don't you go ahead and share a little bit about both of those options?
Okay, so when we're looking for a venue, a high traffic venue to place these digital boards in, we give that venue in-house advertisements. They can have 2 in-house advertisements for no charge. We help them design it also at no charge. We provide the material and the installation, a professional installation, all again at no charge to the venue, who will put these up in their restrooms or in their common areas. So each screen will hold 10 ads. So 2 of them are reserved for the house, and 8 of them we will sell to local businesses. Never on a competing business, so we're not going to advertise another restaurant in a restaurant, but we will advertise certainly for an insurance agent or car dealership or places like that in those restaurants, non-competing venues.
Awesome. And so I know when I've talked with Brad in the past, he gave an example of, if you're in the health and wellness industry, for instance, and one of these screens are in a doctor's office, you may want your health and wellness ad in that doctor's office rather than maybe in a car dealership, right? It might be better suited for you to have it in a place like that, like if you were selling vitamins or minerals, obviously, as long as it's not in competition with the doctor, like you said. But I think that's really cool, the way that you guys can allow your customers to choose if they want to be in certain venues, or if they just say, hey, you pick for me, right? So if I
Exactly.
choose, I want to have 3 screens, and one of them I want to make sure is in this location, but the other 2, go ahead and put them wherever you guys want to put them. I think that's a really neat option to be able to have
Exactly.
for a customer.
The other thing that we can do is we can advertise gender specific. So if we're going to advertise, maybe for something that, maybe a testosterone replacement or something like that, that is specific to men, we can advertise in only men's restrooms if that's how they want to do things. The same thing, if I have a bridal company that wants to advertise, they want to market directly to women, mostly women, I can put those in ladies' restrooms. So we have some very specific opportunities for them as well.
That's so awesome. And one of the things that I also find interesting about this is that it's so quick and easy to make a change. If, for instance, if I have an event and then the event ends, I don't have to keep that expired advertisement up. I can contact you and have it changed.
Absolutely. And especially a lot of our businesses that advertise with us, they have marketing agencies that create the artwork for them. And so it's simply a matter of me communicating with the advertising agency, and then they send me the artwork, and then I upload it and manage that for them. So I can make the change. If the artwork's already created, I can make the change in a matter of hours rather than having to create something from scratch.
Perfect. Well, that's a great question too. If somebody doesn't have a marketing team to create stuff for them, is that something that you offer as part of their purchase?
We absolutely do. And then we can in some cases take pictures, or we can work with them to create something that just makes sense as far as color scheme, or just simply trying to convey whatever message that they're trying to get out. We want to make sure that it makes sense and it reaches the people they're trying to reach.
Awesome. And I know that when I talk to Brad, I love to ask Brad, how many screens are you up to now? How many screens are you up to? Because you guys have been so busy. These are getting popular.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the word is getting out, they're getting so popular. So do you guys know offhand right now, how many screens are you up to now?
We currently have 61 installed, and we have, I believe it's 9 or 11 more contracted to be installed in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Brad, did you have something to add to that?
Well, generally, I think what we're seeing is, at least it's been a trend, especially the last few weeks, 20 screens a week are booked. And then we've got, we're in talks with clinics and other similar industries where we could be in, 30, 40, 50 clinics where people are sitting in a waiting room, and that's another captive audience. And so, generally sales, you may talk to 10 people, and then what are your sales? Sometimes it's maybe 2. I'm not a salesman, but I've been doing business long enough to know that I sell without being a salesman. I just do my best. And so I find you get a lot of no's before you get a lot of yeses. The no's we get, I'm not interested. They think it's a TV screen. They think it's, going to be on a swivel mount or something really ugly. But if we get in front of them, normally we're unzipping our bag to take the screen out. As soon as they see the screen, they're like, we want it. And so it's usually 90% of people or more that see it. They're like, yeah, I want screens. I think our biggest challenge is we're so busy that we don't get in front of people enough, and we're trying to build our advertising out too. So, we got our screens up. We'll have close to 75 once these last few installations go in, and we don't have a bunch of empty screens and keep putting screens out. So And we've got advertisers on all of our screens right now, but, you know, we want to pace it where our screens are going in and our advertisers are coming about the same time.
Mhm.
And so, but anyhow, it's no cost to them. There's really nothing to sell. And I think some of the pushback that we get is, what's the catch? There is no catch. If it gets broke, malfunctions, we replace it, and it takes just a matter of minutes to put another screen in the frame that's already mounted. So that's one thing that we always have to, I guess, overcome is, come on, there's got to be some catch.
Mm-hmm.
And no, they're getting thousands of dollars worth of these digital signage monitors for free, and that's the model of our business.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things I thought was really cool too. I wish I had a physical location so that I could have a screen, because it's so exciting. But so yeah, that's one of the cool things about it, is that you do offer free screens for the business, right? So the business doesn't pay anything, and then they not only get their ads on here, but they also get the ads of other people who could also help their customers, right? So really, really super cool. And so I love that as a business, right? As a business owner, I think that's amazing. As soon as I have a facility to put it in, I will be putting one in, hopefully sooner than later. And I will be telling all my friends who have facilities that match what you need as well. Now, either one of you can answer this question, whichever one of you would like to. But the next question then is, if somebody's watching this, how do they know if they're a good fit to put a monitor in their building? Or how do they know if they have a connection? Like, who are the ideal places that we could either be connecting you with, or if we are that person that we should reach out to you? Oh, Brett, I think you're muted. Brad, you're muted. I think you're trying to talk. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
I just got the prompt. Can you hear me? So,
yeah,
so we like to be in. So the ideal place for screens is high traffic. You know, there's got to be consumers there, and so obviously it's kind of tough to put a screen in. I don't know. Maybe in a used car lot where there's like 10 people a day may come in. That's not the best location, because our advertisers are, you know, they want high traffic. So we had a spinal surgeon sit down in a barber shop to get his hair cut, and he looked up, and I didn't know this, but normally you're facing the mirror only at the end of your haircut. The rest of the time you're looking away from that mirror. Right across from him was just one screen in that one barber shop, and he couldn't keep his eyes off of it, watching the different ads and thinking about it. And he called us literally as he was driving out of the parking lot of the barbershop. And so it's got to be where people, a good amount of people are seeing them. And so it could be a barbershop, salon, restaurants, doctor's offices, dentist offices, where people are in and out, hospitals, gas station, 24-hour gas stations, that we're working on getting in those bathrooms, where and maybe by the coffee machine, something like that. And so it's a good opportunity for our advertisers, and also good for the venue. So that's what we're looking for.
Awesome. Okay, so that's a great transition now. Now we've talked about places, venues that these could be on, and then the other aspect is the advertisers. Tell us what it looks like for advertisers and how we know if we're a good fit to be on those screens.
Well, I think for the advertisers, when I talk to them, this makes them a good fit. So I'm not saying don't have a billboard, don't do Facebook ads, and don't even have online presence, whatever it may be. It's all good. But when they say, I want to brand myself, I want to brand my company, so I'm thought of first. That's number one. And number two, when they say, I just don't know if I'm in front of people enough, because billboards are good, but a lot of people are driving by looking at their phones or not paying any attention, or whatever it may be. It's all good because they're branding themselves, but when they really understand that it's not just a one coupon that comes in the mail that says call me in a mailer, it's the whole package. And then they say, and I want to be in front of people, and you cannot be in front of people more than what we offer because it's such a captive audience. So when they hear that and they understand they're not trying to make one sale, they're trying to be the car dealership of Northwest Indiana that everyone thinks of, or the spinal surgeon, or the pain management, or hospital, barbershop, or a media advertising company. I want people to think of me. And then that's the best fit for these boards. If you want something that is, I send a mailer out, spend $7,000 to $8,000, which one of our clients was doing before, and he gets 400 responses out of 8,000. And out of those 400 responses, 52 people buy. And then he's wondering, is it going to the people that I really want to target? Is it going to the man that I want to target for hair restoration, maybe, right? But we can target men's restrooms. And I'm not getting hair restoration. I love my bald head. I don't care what anybody else says. But so those things are, I'm not just getting a one-off sale. I want them to think of me when I want hair on my head or whatever it may be, tanning salons. I want people to think of my tanning business. So I'm getting a little long-winded, but that's the overall picture on that.
Nice. And so I want to point out, those of you who have been looking at the screen during this time, the screen that Ray has been holding up so graciously, you may notice that you could tell that it's high quality. Of course, because it's a screen looking at a screen, it doesn't show you as high quality as it actually is. It's even way better in person than what you can see on this screen. So I encourage you to reach out to Bradley or Ray and actually get to see one of the screens in person. And then if you want to actually know where they're at, you could reach out to Bradley as well, and he could give you a list of places that are nearby you so you could go in and visit. But it's so true that if you're at the sink washing your hands or at a urinal, right, like, and there's that right in front of you, it's not so much in front of you that it's annoying you, but it's there that, like, you can't take your eyes off of it. That is the most captivating audience that I've heard of. As you guys know, I'm in the marketing industry myself. That's very captivating. That's even better than targeting ads, right? But the second thing that I think is really cool about this, also as a marketer myself, is the price that you guys have. I've not known such a great marketing tactic to be so affordable. I can't even offer these kind of affordable prices to my people. So Bradley, will you share a little bit more about the pricing structure?
Sure. So pricing is per screen per month. And so we're at, if you choose where you want to be, say you want to target barbershops and gyms, or bars in the city or whatever it may be, you're choosing where you want to go. It's $59 per screen per ad per month. And we generally want to do a 12-month contract. And so with that, you're choosing. If you're flexible, you just say, put me up all over Northwest Indiana, then we're $49 a screen. So, and then we have something that I think is, because we really enjoy working with these people. I've become friends with all of our advertisers and venues. It's like hanging out and just having a good time and getting to know them. And so what we do is we say, hey, our goal is to brand you and make your business known throughout Northwest Indiana. So if you have a nonprofit that you support, we can do an ad where 2/3 of it's something for that nonprofit. I think we just did one, Claws in the Park. And then the lower third is Barbara Carr or your company name sponsored this ad, but we don't charge for nonprofits. So that's kind of a neat niche that we have. And then also we give bonus ads. We do have, we say we get 30 new screens in a month. We like to push out several of our different advertisers for free bonus ads. until those slots sell out. Or it may be you pay for 50 ads and we give you 15 ads, no cost. We call them bonus ads. Or we might give you a 15-second ad instead of a 7.5-second ad that's showing in a doctor's office. And so there's a lot of different packages that we put together that everyone is always happy with, and we meet their advertising budget 100% and more. So yeah, that's the rundown on that for the fixed and flexible ad packages that we have.
Thank you, Brad, because yeah, that's so affordable. I remember when you first told me that, I was like, whoa, I can't believe how inexpensive that is. And especially to get such a captive audience, right? You're paying such a low amount, you're getting a captive audience. So high exposure, low cost, it's a no-brainer, right? Like if you're watching this and you want business exposure, if you don't have $50 a month or $59 a month, whichever option you want, even to just start with one screen, I mean, obviously you'll get more results with more screens, but if you don't have that amount of money per month right now, then you need this even more. Like it's one of those like catch-22s where people are like, I don't have money to market, but it's like when you do market, like you make money, right? Because people actually can see you and they buy from you, especially having the captive audience and your ideal audience that you're right in front of. So I highly recommend, if you're watching this, I'll put Brad's information in the description of this video, but I'm going to ask him to give it again. Brad, the best way that people could contact you if they either want to be an advertiser or if they have that they could put a screen in, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, my direct line is 219-895-2113, 219-895-2113. And then my email address is bradley.shrader@socialindoor.com. And so either one of those, I get text as well when people see the screens. Sometimes they'll see my number and they'll text me. I think one of the neat things is our advertisers have seen results right away and continuous as people see their ads up. And the other thing that's really fun for me is I have friends and family. I've got 1,500 Facebook friends, and then also friends outside of Facebook. I get these like texts and messages, and it's a picture of my screen. Hey, I see you're in here. That looks so cool. So these are people that I know that are giving me the heads up. Like, I just saw your screens, and then in combination with other people that are advertising, getting immediately calls and results and contracts. I wonder how many more people are seeing it. They're not making a purchase today or contacting that person or that advertiser today, but is it sticking in their head? That's the person that I'm going to call one day when I'm ready to sell my house, or when I need a deck built or a garage built, something like that.
Yeah, and especially if it is a place that you frequent regularly, right? Like your favorite restaurant, and every time you go to the restroom, you're seeing these ads of these people. And even if you're not ready, like Brad said, maybe you're not looking for a house right now, but the more times that you're seeing these ads from the same people, either in the same venue or maybe even multiple venues, it's burning in your brain. So when that time comes that you are ready to buy a house, guess who's burned in your brain, that your brain says, hey, call this person. Right? You just can't help it because you've seen this ad and this person multiple times. So I think it's super powerful. I'm really excited. I will say that if you do reach out to Brad because of this podcast, make sure that you mention that you heard about it from the super duper awesome barber Carr, because like Brad said, they do make friends with their customers and all that, and they like to give perks when they can. And if you say that you heard about it through me and you become an advertiser or a venue, Bradley can give me extra ads. So please make sure to mention me if you reach out to him because of this. All
Sure.
right. Is there
and one thing too, one thing I wanted to tell you that I thought was interesting, as a venue, I have venues telling me, hey, I'm gaining some customers because of this. And what it is, say somebody's they're in 30 venues. They like to go see their ad. So they go in there and they eat. Or they might pop in there and get a haircut where they never did before. So that's kind of a neat way for the venue. And then business relationships are built. Maybe the guy that owns the barbershop wants to get a fence put up at his house. Well, he gets to know that person personally, as well as he sees those ads on there. So the one guy is going in, the advertiser getting his hair cut every other. I don't know what the schedule. I can't remember. It's been so long how often you got to have a haircut. But he's going in and getting his hair cut, and then the other guy's referring him out for decks besides his screen. Hey, if you know this guy, or if you need this done, I know this guy. He advertises on my screens. So it's a I call it a cross sale or a cross business relationship that brings businesses to each other.
That's awesome. All about collaboration. It's all about collaboration. So before we jump off here, are there any things that either of you can think of that we didn't talk about that would be important for people who are watching to know?
Ray, I think you can expound on that.
Well, the one thing that I think I'd like to make sure that is understood is that, you know, I know you said I'm holding the screen up. It's resting on the desk, and I'm just simply steadying it because it weighs about 20 pounds. And so for anybody who's concerned that it's going to get beat up, it's a very robust construction. And in fact, if we install this in someone's venue and someone does damage it, then we are happy to replace it. We still don't charge the venue for that. So we take care of everything. If we get to use your walls to put advertisements up, we want you to be happy and taken care of. So it's a great opportunity, and it's a great way for people to talk about specials or upcoming events in their venue for house ads, and then also to tell their friends that are business owners that they have a place where they can help build their business as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ray. And I will tell my audience that Brad and I have been talking about the screens for quite some time. And I had mentioned to Brad early on that like I had to figure out what I wanted to advertise before going on the screens. That was what I was delaying on. And then it hit me that, you know, like I can talk to Brad and Ray and they could help me figure out what I want to advertise on the screens based on where they might put them. And so don't let that hold you back. If you're just like, I don't know what I would advertise or I don't know how to design something, don't let stuff like that hold you back. I'm now at the point where actually I have on my to-do list to contact Brad to say, okay, get me signed up. Let's do this, right? And it's been long enough. I'm ready. And so as soon as I get my advertisements going, you know, I'll be talking with Brad and they'll get them up. I will give you guys an update on where to find mine so that you can go check them out and see how cool they are for yourselves, because I am super excited. And I'm actually ashamed that I've waited this long, because it's been about 2 months since I first saw the screen in person, and I procrastinated for 2 months, and I regret that already. So don't be like me. Get started right away, because if you the sooner you get started, you guys, the sooner people will see your ads, the sooner you'll start profiting. So get started right away. Brad gave you his contact info. Feel free to go to the website. That's posted here too. And if you have any questions or you just want to know more, or if you're just curious and you want to see the screens, just contact them. They'll tell you what you want to know. They're not hiding anything. Right. All right, Ray, do you want to share any contact information, or is it just contact Brad?
Sure, I'd be happy to share my contact information. My phone number is area code 219 and then 472-6293. 219-472-6293. And then my email address is ray.joslyn, and that's Joslyn, ray.joslyn at socialindoor.com. And yes, happy to help you with coming up with an idea for an ad. I've had people send me a truckload, it seems, of pictures, and we kind of put something together and makes them happy. So happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you. Brad, any last words before we jump off here?
No, you know, other than I always have words. I think the thing is, too, we also, if you don't have any pictures or video or any idea what to do with an ad, we have a library access of millions of high HD videos and photos and illustrations and things we can use. And then also, I thought I would send you, Barbara, some photos of screens so you could put them in the comments below of this podcast as
Perfect.
Well, so I can get those over to you. So we can help, Barbara. If you're not sure what you want to do with your advertising, let's talk, and if you don't have any photos, we'll come up with some. Whatever it takes, we'll get you going on the screens tomorrow, for sure.
Perfect. So you guys stay tuned. I'm going to post my locations as soon as I am on there. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much. I know you guys had a busy day today, and it was busier than you expected because of some stuff going on. And thank you for still making time to be on here, even though your whole day got switched around it without your, doing, obviously. But it really means a lot to me that you guys were able to share this with my audience, and that you guys are so attentive to your customers and your venues and your advertisers. I really, truly appreciate everything that you guys are doing. And I'm excited that my people will at some point work with you, hopefully sooner than later.
Great.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.